Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. For those who do not know me, my name is Nomhlanga. I'm an immigrant nurse living in Germany. On this platform, I share everything about nursing, traveling, food, and just the general life of an immigrant in Germany. It wouldn't have been Sister Snow if I do not share anything about the Nursing Ausbildung on this Ausbildung series. You know me, how I love my profession. So today I'll be giving you detailed information as of 2025. How you can apply to be a nurse in Germany. How you can move from Benin City coming here to Germany using this Ausbildung route, the vocational training. So, before 2020, the nursing Ausbildung was divided into three. There was the Kinderkrankenpflegerin, there was the Gesundheits- und Krankenpflegerin, and there was the Altenpfleger Ausbildung. So there were three. And then since 2020, these Ausbildungs were combined into one nursing, which is now known as the Pflegefachmann, Pflegefachfrau Ausbildung. By the way, I have to clarify something. In Germany, the midwife, yes, it's part of nursing, but it doesn't fall under this nursing that we all know. Some people, I can just say under the general nursing, it doesn't come in. The midwife, Ausbildung, is separate. And also the Heilerziehungspflege, which is the disability nursing, is also separate. So in the nursing, this Fachfrau Fachmann Ausbildung is just those three: the pediatric, the adult, and the geriatric nursing is combined. So today I'm going to share with you the detailed information about these three combined ones. So the duration of the Ausbildung is 3 years. Well, you have got the possibility of doing it up to 5 years, but in part-time. Not every establishment, not every school offers the part-time Ausbildung. In some provinces, in some schools, it is offered, especially for those working moms, or maybe you fell pregnant during the Ausbildung, or your situation, it depends on how you want to do it. You have to do the theory side, which is 2,100 hours within a space of 3 years. This is done in a nursing college. And then you have to do 2,500 hours for your practicals. With the practicals, you rotate in clinics, in nursing homes, in kindergarten, psychiatry. You go on the district nursing, community nursing, you name it. You are going to be planned and placed over there. And then within a space of 3 years, you are allowed to have a total of 60 days that you miss either school or work. So a year you can miss 10 days of school, 10 days at work, giving it to 20. So 20 days times 3 years is going to give you 60. If you have got more than 60, unfortunately, you cannot graduate because your hours will be missing for you to qualify as a registered nurse. So the requirements for you to do the nursing Ausbildung in Germany are: you have to have a Realschulabschluss. This is your secondary school education diploma. You need a certificate. Like I mentioned on the previous videos, if you've got those D's and E's, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you've got a certificate to prove that you went to school for a minimum of 10 years. By 10 years, I'm counting the primary school and the secondary school. So that's very important for you. In the description box, I'm going to share where you can get your certificates graded. If you have got a Hauptabschluss, which is the high school certificate, then you have to combine it with another Ausbildung. Let's say you did a vocational training which lasted a year or 2 years, like for example, the nursing assistant, the caregiver, the care assistant. If you went to school for that, you can combine it with your high school certificate. You will be considered for this Ausbildung. Of course, it's done in the German language, so you need your German language proficiency. If you are lucky, some schools are going to take you with B1 and you have to have done your B2 by the time you finish the Ausbildung. Some might even say on the first year of your Ausbildung, you are supposed to have completed it. Some even offer the language school at the school itself, at the nursing school. Otherwise, you need the B2 language certificate to do the nursing Ausbildung. If you are an international student, you need a medical fitness certificate. Are you fit to do this job? Because you all know nursing isn't a joke. You have to be fit, you have to run, you have, physically fit. Mentally fit is also a very important, even emotionally fit. So your doctor will have to examine you, and you are going to bring that certificate with you when you come to Germany. When you are applying, you attach it. Everything has to be clearly written. If you are from an English-speaking country, do not worry about the translation. If the school wants it translated, they are going to tell you if you have to do so. And of course, now you need the other important documents, your CV, your application letter. I shared it in these videos here, which you are seeing on the screen a few weeks ago. Just go and have a look on how you write these important letters. And any other supporting documents, you have to put them in. If you did a practical at the St. John's Ambulance, just attach the certificate. If you went to King George and did that training 2 weeks practical, just attach the certificate you got over there. It's very important and plays an important role. And by the way, if you are an international student, you're coming from far away, and you need a passport to come here in Germany. If your passport is valid for less than 1 year, I suggest you go and apply for a new passport now, so that you will be granted your visa. The visa costs about 75 euros in order for you to move to Germany. In one of my previous videos, I shared the requirements that you might need. So there you find the detailed. Here is just a brief what you're going to need. So for the international students, you will need a visa and a permit. The permit will be done when you are now in Germany, because without the permit, you can't go to school, you can't go to work. So the nursing intake, the good thing about here in Germany is that it's not like in some countries, for example, where I come from, where they'll say maybe nursing is starting only from as from 1 February, once a year. No, here in Germany, you can find schools that start as from 1st of March or 1st of April, 1st of August, 1st of September or 1st of October. So you have got 5 intakes. You can look and see where you can apply. There are intakes in a school. It's usually 2 intakes every year, which is the spring intake and the autumn intake. So just watch out. A tip from me: when you are applying, try and apply in as much schools as possible. Like now we are in February. If you've got your documents in order, try applying for April. You might still stand a chance to get the vacancy. Otherwise, apply for August, apply for September, and apply for October in different schools. See which one is going to respond to you first. So the Ausbildung structure. You have got 2 sides of the Ausbildung, the theory and the practical side. So on the theory side, you should expect to do the following subjects: human anatomy and physiology. This is where you learn how the body is built and about every organ in the body and how it functions. You are going to learn about psychology of humans. You are going to learn about the religion, the communication, law, medical procedures, nursing care techniques, nutrition, nursing theories, hygiene and infection control, psychiatry, communication, and pharmacology. By the time you're done with the Ausbildung, you'll be knowing that paracetamol and this and that and that. You learn a lot of things in the nursing field. You won't feel it when you are learning it, because you think, today we've got law, tomorrow we've got communication and this. But when you are done, you notice, oh yeah, we really learned a lot of things. And it's even amazing when you are now putting it in the practicals. So what usually happens, how it's structured, what you learn in this theory, you are going to be doing it in your practical. Usually you have got theory blocks and practical blocks. Your theory block is going to last for maybe a month, and then your practical 2 months, and then theory 2 months, practical 2 months. It just changes. You are going to get the structure of your Ausbildung, the timetable. You are going to get it when you start. You'll be given even for up to 3 years. You will know even when you are going to be doing your exams whilst you're still in the first year. If your Ausbildung is in blocks, you will have 8 hours a day of theory lessons, which take place every Monday to Friday, with a 45-minute to a 1 hour break. And then as for your exams, you are going to have 3 parts of the exam, which is the practical, the theory, and the speaking. So you are writing your speaking and you're having a practical exam, and you have to pass all these 3 with very good marks. In case it happens that you fail one part, you will be given the opportunity to rewrite or redo that practical exam, and your Ausbildung is going to be extended with 6 months. If the not so good happens again and you fail, then your Ausbildung is over. You can't practice as a registered nurse anymore. Instead, you'll be now a nurse assistant. Now, on the practical side, you do your practicals in clinics, in kindergarten, in nursing home, in the community, in psychiatric institutions. You just you'll be changing very often. So if your practical contract is with a nursing home, then your nursing home is the one responsible for paying you your salary every month. If it's with a hospital, they will be the ones responsible for paying you your practicals. And it's usually like this, that you are going to do your final exams at that place. So it's your main station. Then you'll be going out and out and out. When you are in the practical side, the things that you learn: patient care and hygiene. You are assisting the patients in their medical treatment, putting the eye drops, the drips, anything that says medication, and supporting patient rehabilitation. So as a nursing student, you can't take over the duties alone. There has to be a qualified nurse always with you. You have got a right to say, no, I can't do this on my own. The law protects you. What if you do something wrong? What will happen to the patient? And think about yourself. You'll be incriminated for something that you could have avoided. Be very careful about this. I know in some places you might find that a nursing student is given a tour. By a tour, we mean like your own patients, maybe 10 patients to take care of. Such things are very dangerous. You have got the right to say no. And when you are now on your 3rd year, you, especially towards the end, sometimes they will start training you that you take the shift, be the charge nurse of that day. Of course, someone will be helping you. Something also interesting when it comes to the practical side of nursing. I know a certain lady she's still in the Ausbildung now. She does it in a uni clinic, in a university clinic. So when the time for practicals came, a certain practical, I think it was ICU, or yeah, I'm not sure, I think it was ICU, she then asked if she can do it outside Germany, and she was allowed. She went and did it back home in Africa. So if you've got that opportunity, why not go and do it in Bulawayo? Go to Mater Dei Hospital and do your practical whilst you're seeing your family every day. Go to that Net Care Hospital. Why not? So look in such things. It could be interesting seeing nursing on the other side of the world.
So as for the accommodation, the school doesn't offer you accommodation. Instead, your hospital or your nursing home, the one which gave you your contract for the practicals, are the ones who offer you accommodation. It's usually a shared apartment or a very small single apartment. It will be furnished usually with a bed, a desk. Some have got bathrooms inside, otherwise some you have to share the bathrooms and the kitchens with the other students. And for this accommodation, the company will be deducting a little amount from your salary, maybe 300 euros every month. So these are just pictures of how the rooms could look like. Well, these are very clean and beautiful, but otherwise they are small apartments, and they are usually just next to the hospital or next to the nursing home. So you are going to be given details about your accommodation together with your contract when you will need to produce these when you apply for your visa at the embassy. And you can stay here during the course of your Ausbildung. Some students are lucky to even stay here after the Ausbildung. Some have to leave after the Ausbildung, or they can stay for one more year so that they open space for the upcoming students.
Salary, the Ausbildung vergüten. Wie viel kriegt man? How much do you earn? So in your first year, expect to earn between 1,200 and 1,300 euros. In your second year, 1,300 to 1,400. And in your third and final year, 1,400 to 1,500 euros.
So under the salary, you are also going to be getting the incentives of weekends. And if you do that night duty during your nursing studies, you'll be paid extra for it. If you work on public holidays, you are going to get that incentive. Some companies are going to give you even the transport ticket. And also at the year end, you are also going to get your bonus, the 13th paycheck. It's known as the Weihnachtsgeld. So all of these things are also given to students. And do not worry, if you've got a theory block and you spend 2 months at school without stepping your foot at work, you are still going to get your full salary.
Salaries which I just mentioned are not exact. This is like the average. It depends on where you live. And your take-home pay, your net pay, is also affected by your tax class. Your salary isn't enough. Maybe you're taking 950 euros net. So you have got the option of doing a mini job. You are allowed to do an extra job. Like let's say you work at Burger King, you work at KFC, you can work in another nursing home, you can work at a clothing store like Zara, H&M, whatever. You are allowed to do that. You can supplement your salary, and in a month it's going to give you 520 euros extra. So you have to check on your visa. You are usually given 10 hours a week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. If you do not have it, if you are not allowed, you can simply go to the Foreign Office and ask them to allow you, to permit you to do that. So instead of having 950, now you have added 520 to your salary. And when you are doing the mini job, for you to earn this 520 whilst you are still a student nurse, you will be doing, I think it's about 4 days in a month. So you have to balance how you do it. If you do it on weekends, it's even a bonus for you, because the Saturday and the Sunday shifts have got the extra incentives, and those extra incentives are not taxed. So have a look at such things. So you might make a little bit more. And then there are some people who are lucky to get the WeGebAU. You see here on the screen what it's all about. Your employer can fill it in for you, the forms and stuff. So instead of getting this normal 1,200 euros a month like any other student nurse, you have got the opportunity, the option to get even up to 2,000 euros every month as a student nurse. Well, some places make you sign a contract that you won't leave their company after the Nursing Ausbildung. You have to stay with them maybe for 2 years, some will say 3 years, some will say 5 years. It depends on the company itself and your agreement. So now, after the Ausbildung, the salary starts changing. You are no longer grouped under one, like to say, no, you are getting 1,000 euros because you have been qualified for 1 year. Instead, it now comes a lot of factors. For example, where are you working? If you're working in a hospital, which department are you working in? Are you working in the oncology? Are you working in the ER? Are you working in the theater? Are you at ICU? So all these things play a very important role when it comes to the amount that you will be making. And the average salary that you should expect immediately after graduation is between 2,500 euros and 3,200 euros as of 2025. Of course, the location, everything plays a role, but this is just an estimate of the salary. So a tip from me will be, of course, in the first 6 months of your probation, when you are now fit, try and do all the 3 shifts if you can. The morning shift, the afternoon shift, and the night shift. When you do these shifts, you are going to make a bit more money, because night shift money is not taxed. Like certain hours, I think from 10 o'clock in the night until 6 in the morning. So that might give you extra money in your pocket. Ausbildung. In Germany, we have got 3 shifts. Those are the common ones. And the morning shift starts usually at 6 o'clock or 6:30 until 2 o'clock or 2:30. The afternoon shift usually starts at 1 o'clock until 9 o'clock. And then the night shift starts at 8:30 until 6:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, depending on your establishment. And when it comes to these working hours, your 30-minute break is included. In night duty, some companies say 45 minutes and some give you up to an hour. The difference comes when you are doing the community nursing. There they have got different times. Sometimes their morning shift starts at 6 o'clock and ends at 12 o'clock midday. So it's different. Every company is different. But on average, your working hours are 8 hours if you're working the day shift. And if you are on night duty, which you'll be required to do as a nursing student, I think you have to do about 5 nights in the course of your Ausbildung, then it adds up to 10 hours per shift in the night duty. So now you are done with the Ausbildung. Is it even easy to get a job? I would say you have got a buffet of jobs here, a buffet. where you trained your Ausbildung, they are probably waiting for you to sign a contract with them. You can just apply anyway in this country, anytime. When you graduate, your certificate is usually in your hands. I'll just say in maximum 2 weeks, latest, you'll be having your certificate. You apply for your work permit if you're a foreigner, then you choose where you want to work. When you apply for a work permit, you're supposed to have got a contract. So choosing where you want to work, you can work anywhere where you want in the nursing, in the healthcare sector. Like I mentioned before, the places you can work are like the hospital, the clinics, the community care home, and other places where you can work with your Ausbildung are in private doctor practices. Maybe there is an orthopedic practice. You can just go and work there as a nurse. If you do not want to be working these shifts, you can work there morning until maybe 8 to 5 is their shift, or 9 to 6, depends on their surgeries there. And then you can also work in a rehab. There are neurology rehabs, orthopedic rehabs, psychiatric rehabs, a lot of them. You can work there. You can even work in a prison, correctional service. They also want some nurses over there. That's a great one. But the difference with those ones in the prison, you have to be a German citizen. You can't just go and work there. And then you can also do the one-on-one intensive care. This is like an intensive care, but it's not in a hospital. Maybe someone is sick and they're in their house, intensive care. So you come there and take care of them. These ones have got long shifts. All nurses who work here, the shifts are 12 hours. They only have got 2 shifts, 7 to 7 are their shifts. Now you have qualified as a general nurse. Now, 1 year, 2 years later, you're now thinking of specialization. You can do a lot of things under this healthcare field. It's amazing the opportunities that you are going to get. For example, you can be an intensive care and anesthesia nurse. You go to school, I think it's 1 year to 2 years for that, and then you get your certificates. You can do surgical nursing. You can specialize in psychiatry, in oncology. Even if you now want to think in the management route, you can be a ward manager. You can think about being a Pflegedienstleiter, being the hospital matron, the director. You go to school for it. You can even do like all those things, the Gesundheitsmanagement. There is a lot of them. And in most cases, you do not pay for yourself. Your company pays for you. So just look at what interests you, what motivates you, then you do it. Because the cherry on top, go to my description box. You are going to find a list of hospitals and nursing homes which are employing from outside Germany. Anyway, wherever you are, you can apply direct to them without even needing a third party to do it for you. I chose these places. I will keep on adding. Maybe a few days later, just check again. I'll be researching more. These companies which I put, the hospitals and care homes, I chose those ones that have got their own schools, which is going to make it easier for you when you are applying. That you apply, then they've got their own school already over there. So it's easier for you instead of looking for a practical school, a what. It's everything in under one house. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the description box. Otherwise, I'll see you on my next video with another list of Ausbildungs. This one was just special on its own.